Welcome back, guys. We have a pretty cool out to the front knife today. And this was loaned in from Alex over at Alex's Knife Box. You've heard me talk about him a million times, so I will just skip right on past that and just say go check him out. Link down below. So he sent this up. This is the Paragon Steel Warrior Para XD Dagger. This is an older one. These have been around for many, many, many years. Yet, they are still available. Blade HQ has a vast variety of different models, different configurations, different colors, different blades, all of that, and I will link that down below. This is a single action out to the front, meaning a single action means there's one trigger that just deploys the blade. A double action would have a double action would be like this Spartan. It has a mechanism to deploy the blade and has a mechanism to then retract the blade. Double action. Okay? This one is just a single action, meaning you have to manually pull the tang of the blade. This part here, you have to depress the button, pull this back, compressing the spring, and then charging the handle, or charging the knife again. That makes sense. So, and you can see inside once we deploy this. We'll take a look, see if we can see inside. May need to grab the flashlight. You can see the spring inside there. So there's the spring, and as you pull the blade back, you compress the spring, thus allowing it to fire next time. So there is a safety here, which will lock the blade open and will also lock it closed. So this is totally safe to carry in your pocket, not a problem. It actually fits well in the pocket because it's so slim that it just works. Retract the safety, push the button, fire it out. So this one has a very cool Damascus blade, and I don't know what configuration, what metals it's using there. It's Paragon. Now there are several different, not clones, but different companies that are making this similar style of OTF. So you'll see, if we kind of flash back to the Dark Knight movie, Batman the Dark Knight, the Joker has a knife that's similar to this. I don't know if it's the Paragon. A lot of what I found online was it's the Dalton or the Smith & Wesson extractor. So there was several different varieties made by different companies of this. Excuse me. So you can see here on the back of the blade that little divot. That is for the button lock, if you will. So there's a corresponding divot like that on the other end of this track. The track in the middle is for the button to ride in, or for the blade to ride around. And so essentially, and you can see on the button, as we pull this back and it locks into place, the button kind of pops out because it's the back side of the button lock is riding along here, and then it dips into that channel, locking the blade either opened or closed. Now this one has very little blade play, which is unusual. Oftentimes, out the front knives, like this Spartan, there's a little bit of play. Don't know if you can hear that, but there's a little bit of play, which is common. Even the Microtech that I have here on loan has some play. This one, this is pretty solid, and I'm impressed by that. There is another company, Deadlock, that makes a completely blade-free play that it just locks up solid. So anyway, let's get into the specs on this. 5 3/16 aluminum handles, 8 7/8 overall, 3.66-inch blade, 3.5-inch cutting edge, and this is a dagger sharpened on both sides, so you want to be aware of that. The blade thickness is 0.117, overall thickness of 0.505, and it weighs in at just 3.9 ounces. This is a really cool knife. Now, one thing to remember, much like any knife, you can't just completely hold this one all the way around and fire it, because the tang of the blade here has to have a path of travel, right? If you see that there, you have to keep your fingers out of the way. So you're going to hold it kind of like a traditional side opening knife so that that tang can ride up. Whereas on the Spartan, there is no tang. It's a double action, so it is just all internal. But yeah, this is a very cool knife. It's super light. It does not fire as hard as the Spartan or the Microtech for that matter, but it fires every time. I have not had it ever not fully deploy and lock up. So let's do a couple size comparisons since we have the Spartan out here. Basically the same size. The Sharpie. You guessed it. Spyderco Delica. Quiet Carry Waypoint, just because it's kind of the same colorway, so I think that's cool. And the Holt Spectre. We'll round it out with that. All right. So thanks, Alex, for sending this in. Go check out his channel. Let me know what you think about out the fronts, automatic knives in general. You know, I'm a fan. I don't think I own any out the fronts right now. No. But I have in the past. I've had a couple of Benchmade Infidels, and this just feels great in the hand. It really does. You can wrap your finger around the tang of the blade and really get some, you know, comfortable. It's very comfortable that way. You can also put your thumb here on this little divot here in the blade if you're going to be doing digging and stuff. It's really a cool knife that's been around, this style, from several different makers since the 80s. I mean, it really has been around a long time. So, and super light, and it's just a fun knife. So, thanks a lot, everyone. I greatly appreciate it. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow.